everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I'm hoping I can tease you into pushing that button. This past fall, I completed my 38th year coaching football, and I was a defensive coordinator. But over that time, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I want to talk to you about one of our packaged plugs that we call Lasso Mo. I'm going to show it to you versus an 11 personnel formation. And although, as you'll see, it's good versus all personnel groupings and formations. Okay. So the key terms are over here, and then I'm going to bring it to life for you over here in the diagram. Okay. So first of all, what is meant by a packaged plug is we combine, in this case, an outside linebacker plug and an inside linebacker plug, and we run them together at the same time, right? So, in this case, Lasso Mo is the dime and both inside linebackers. So, how do we accomplish that, right? Well, first of all, you obviously make sure you've put in both plugs already in your install. And then your package plugs go in after all of the inside-outside linebacker individual plugs have been installed. And then the key is going to come into play for a 3-4 as I go through it, okay? That's where we as coaches come in. So, number two, what is a Lasso Mo is the Lucky Ringo goes to the dime. The first word, lasso, that's the dime plug, okay? So lasso, the dime plugs B-gap. So, as I've always said, if you look up here, there are no two of the same letter, right? And in the cases of where there are two letters, there's no two the same, okay? That's by design. So, as I've always said, if the dime doesn't know who the dime is, right, we got big trouble. So, we let the dime call the Lucky Ringo, okay? Here's the key, 3-4. Your nose, right? The nose is right over the football. The nose is a part of both. So how do you combine two separate plugs, execute them at the same time without putting the nose in conflict? See, that's the key. So you and your stabs have to go through and pick the two plugs that can work and have the nose be a part of the first plug. That's the way we do it. So the nose sees or hears it's Lasso Mo. He's a part of the Lucky Ringo. Okay, as you'll see. Okay? So that's the key to the whole thing. As the coaches, it's up to you to combine two plugs that does not put your nose in conflict. That's not fair. And the way we do it, the nose is a part of the first call. Okay? So then Mo for us is a read plug opposite the opposite side, of the Lucky Ringo. And how we accomplish that, guarantee that we accomplish that, I'll go over when we get to the diagram. Okay? So as I mentioned, it's good versus all personnel, 10, 11, 12, 20, 21, 22. It's good versus all. Not going to say we run it a lot versus 22, but you can. Okay? And it's good versus run, pass. This I know. It's good versus zone read, power read, and RPO. Okay? And so now over here, the call is for us 50, which is our base 3-4 front. Lasso Mo, large is the coverage, and why? Well, we'll get to that. And then rotate. So non-subscribers, you're going to have to push the button. Rotate means normally versus 11 personnel, the dime goes to the lizard rip. Not in this case. Okay? Unless it's a unique formation like the Pika. Again, non-subscribers have to push the button. But this guarantees that the dime and the backer travel together. I mean, versus 10, 20, 22, they stay left. So they're together, you see what I mean? And the mic's opposite. So that's how we guarantee that these two guys will be together and the mic opposite, all right? By simply adding rotate to the end of the call. Or when we have a signboard, we use tops, and we've got different things that we use. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it all to life for you. I'm not going to talk a lot about the coverage large except when it comes to how we cover the running back, okay? So what I've done here, I'm telling you right now, field corner is hot on one, boundary corner hot on one. The free safety in this case is going to screw down and be hot on two. He's got Sky Force on a running play. Lucky equals Louie. Non-subscribers push the button. So I'm telling you right now in the snap, he's rotating middle third, reading surface on the way in case it's run. Then he reacts, okay? Surface is the offensive line. Again, non-subscribers, push the button. So therefore, it's orbit over here on pass, hot versus two. Okay? So, how does Lasso Mo look? Well, I'm going to cover the Lasso side first. So the dime makes the lucky call. They make the subsequent Louis call, so the safeties are spinning in the correct direction. Okay? So on a Lasso, it's a lucky. Remember, nose is a part of the call, so he's slanting A-gap to the call. Defensive end, slanting C-gap to the call. From depth, dime plugs B-gap. That's a Lasso. There it is. Boom, done. On the snap, safety screws down. Reading surface. If it's run, he's got force. If it's pass, including if it were an RPO look, he's going to be hot on two. Okay? So that's the Lasso part of it. Now let's talk about the Mo side of it, the read plug. Okay? So the way to know it. We set it up so the backer's on the side of the dime, so he knows he's the read plugger. Therefore, the mic plugs the A-gap like you would on a mic. Non-subscribers, push the button. Okay? On a Mo, defensive end would be slanting in the C-gap, so there it is. Okay? The read plug is executed run or pass. So he shuffles and his eyes are on the guy. We call this the Gilligan concept. Okay? Which means we isolate one of the offensive linemen. It's usually the uncovered, which in 3-4 is going to be the guard. And then he goes butt side. So if the guard down blocks, he's in the B gap. If he's up the field or if he's out, he's going to be in A gap. That's the read plug. Okay? So that is the Lasso and the Mo. So see, by making the nose a part of the first one, that makes him right on the second one because that's what the nose does on a Mo. Both defensive ends do that on a Mo. So see, by, again, the coaches being the ones combining, packaging two plugs and making the nose a part of the first one, voila, you can do it. Okay? So the last thing I want to talk about is large. So I'll give you this, non-subscribers. Okay? The two inside linebackers, if the back were to appear inside, to block and or as a screen, middle screen, they'll retrace. If the back releases outside either way, the defensive ends peel off with the running back. So it could be in the flat, it could be a flare. The defensive ends in large are responsible for running back essentially outside the tackle to them. Again, whether it's flare or the flat. And that is how we package the plugs Lasso and Mo. So as I said at the beginning, my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I really hope I teased you into it. To everybody, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. I'd like to thank you for watching MGS Coaching Football, and I'd like to thank YouTube for providing this platform.